officially
Famous person on the line.
Famous person on the line.
being told we have a special guest swinging by via the telephone. Hello? Hello, special friend? Yes? Welcome to the show. Hello. This is... Oh, I know that laugh anywhere. I know that laugh anywhere. Patricia Arquette.
DJ bootlegging lady.
Oh no, you're bootlegging my merch also. What a...
I am. I just made a feather duster. I made a Christmas cap.
What
I made
what
tooth grills.
What a turn of events. Patricia Arquette is bootlegging my own merch now.
I am, and I'm loving it.
Well, I'm glad you're loving it. Somebody's having fun. Just steal. Well, that's fine. Now I'm going to start with the... We're going to start running off some Boyhood merch now. I'm going to do my own Boyhood shirts. And the one I'm going to do now, I'm going to do some Severance shirts.
You know what? Then I'm going to say to you, that's a bootleg, you piece of garbage.
There you go. Fair. Okay. Yes, that's fair. You piece of garbage. It always stings when you say, you piece of garbage. Because worse than even a curse, like something like that. Like when you say to somebody like, right, stupid. Like stupid is one of the most hurtful things you could call somebody. Like,
I've called people stupid, have you?
Oh, yeah, of course I have. You see who I'm surrounded by.
Have you ever called someone a piece of garbage? Really? Sincerely?
Have I? Probably not. Probably not. This might just...
Neither have I. But I'm starting today.
Mm-hmm. Today's the day.
There's always today to start over.
It's the first day of our lives. We get to call people a piece of garbage. Now, Patricia Arquette, you have a new show. And this show, it's called High Desert. And it's on Apple.
Oh.
It's on Apple TV. This show is everything I want out of a show. It's the greatest. I've watched 3 episodes of it so far. And for you, I got to say, this is a tour de force.
Aw, thank you.
You're getting to do everything on this show.
I am, even the kitchen sink.
Even the kitchen sink, but you're breaking out every tool from the toolbox on this one. Because it's funny.
I am.
It's funny and it's poignant and it's exciting and it's dramatic and puzzling and there's a mystery. It's everything.
And it's stupid, too.
And it's stupid.
It's all of these things.
Yes, it's very stupid in the best possible way. Because I love, my favorite genre of all the genres is the oddball solving crimes.
Exactly.
I worked on Monk for 8 long years. Figuring those out.
And you did a beautiful job.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciate
that. That was not a piece of garbage.
No, Monk, not a piece of garbage. So,
no.
But this show, this is the cloth that this is cut from, if I dare say. There's a little bit of, there's some Philip, like some Long Goodbye, some Altman Long Goodbye in there. There's some Big Lebowski, some Inherent Vice. There's a lot in there.
There's a little Soap, if any of you are old enough from remembering that.
Sure.
There's a little bit of, I don't know if I can go so far as to say, Little Buddy and, what was that? Gilligan's Island, but there's
maybe there's a very little bit.
Like an aftertaste of Gilligan's Island.
There's trace elements of Gilligan's Island in there.
That's right, Professor.
I don't want
That's
people.
right.
I don't want people to watch it and think like just like I don't know. She was on the show talking about Gilligan's Island. I didn't see any. Yeah. No. So what is if you had to tell somebody about this show and why it appealed to you to make this show? What would you tell them, Patricia?
Well, to me, it's kind of a counterculture comedy. And, we are living in absurdist times. I mean, we all watched everything everyone said after the assault on the Capitol and the crazy things people are believing. And we see on the news that somebody will leave like their driver's license, at the scene of the crime that they commit. It's just kind of a crazy, absurd time. And this has little elements of how bonkers everything is, but it has a very beautiful heart in it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd grown up with a lot of eccentrics and some people who struggled with drug use and went in and out of sobriety. And while I ended up losing a lot of them, there were really beautiful qualities those people had. They were smart and interesting and funny and warm,
Mm-hmm.
But they had this illness that took them down, but I loved them. So it was kind of inspired by one of the writers, Nancy Fishman, her sister Marjorie, who, struggled with her addiction and also said to her at one point, you know what, I'm going to be a PI. And she was like, well, that's insane, but it's also the first sane thing you've said. You'd actually be really good at it.
Yeah.
So this is kind of the fantasy of if Marjorie was a PI.
And that's the thing. Your character, Peggy, on the show is clearly struggling with recovery and addiction. But it's not, you're never ever laughing at anybody. And you're definitely laughing with the journey and with the struggle and with the adventure on it, which is what makes all the difference for me with something like that, is that you have a clear rooting interest in watching Peggy, as imperfect as she may be, navigate this world, and you're just cheering for her to succeed.
Well, I think part of what I responded to in the material was it was like had its own original voice, which as much material as we see everywhere, and there's certainly good shows all over the place, this was a little bit edgier,
Mm-hmm.
but very funny. And it was clearly original, and they had their own voice, these writers, that is a different kind of sense of humor that's a little off kilter, which is more in keeping with my own sense of humor.
Mm-hmm.
And so I really like that. And it's completely committed to what it is.
Yes.
Which is a piece of garbage. No, I'm just kidding.
No.
It's not.
This is not how we...
It's the opposite of a piece of garbage.
Exactly. This is not how we promote things, Patricia. Generally, you want to bring people toward the show, not go, and by the way, it's a piece of garbage. I didn't mention that. It's great.
It's not at all, you liars.
It's so funny. And you, in this, I also got to give you credit. Those sunglasses you're wearing in this, you should never take them off. You should be walking around in yellow tinted lenses all the time.
Yeah, let's look at the world through sun-colored lenses,
Yeah.
I mean, Peggy is a real fashion, she loves fashion. She makes her own fashion. She's living in her own reality,
Mm-hmm.
and she's going to make the world, look like her own way, fit into her own way of seeing things.
Yeah. And tell me about the thinking of some of these fashion choices on the show, because there's there's some things that reminded me maybe that Mrs. Roper might have worn.
There are Miss Roper moments.
Mm-hmm.
Then there's also moments where she's in heavy, and also there's some stuff that got cut out that's so funny. I mean, there's stuff that in the show right now where she dresses up like to be a PI, and her idea of what is that.
Mm-hmm.
So that goes back to like early movies of the 70s, kind of a little bit of Angie Dickinson around the edges.
Sure.
You know, her kind of raincoat and her floppy hat. And then there's the Miss Roper muumuus. Her Pioneer Town look.
Yes. Now, because that's the other thing.
Bonnet.
This is taking place out in the Palm Springs area. So you've got Peggy is working at basically Pioneer Town out there, which is the western. It's a western tourist village, and performing in the stage, like the little productions in the saloon.
Yeah, exactly, and it's a fun job, and it's a whole world, and it's kind of one of her satellite families, because she hustles everybody because she's a manipulator, like most addicts are, but she is kind of a double winner because she also is a bit codependent, so she's always trying to take care of everybody and mother everyone at the same time.
Sure. Is this your first run through with in the muumuu world? Or do you have did you bring your own muumuus to set?
I didn't. Those were vintage muumuus and expensive muumuus that we figured that I think that Peggy is kind of a bit of a magpie. She likes shiny things, or like pack rats. They collect shiny things and make nests.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you knew that about pack rats, but they do.
I didn't.
They'll steal tinfoil and put it in their nest. But Peggy has a little bit of that in her. So, like, she could go into your house and dog sit for you, but a few of your mom's, Bob Mackie muumuus will be gone when she leaves.